The storm has now arrived. Hello guys, it's Stormboy13 here, and yes, we have a new update with our winter weather. We're now going to be moving on to the January outlook. So, the January outlook though is looking a bit more uncertain than it was in December, with some computer models predicting completely different predictions, particularly throughout the first half of January. So it's not that I'm copying one of the information, but this is primarily what I would generally think of what the transition from December to January weather could be like. So we're just going to play through by ear. It's kind of a prediction, but it's hopefully an accurate one. So what is the prediction generally for January 2019, the mid-month of winter? So what is the monthly outlook? If I can just give the most accurate summary of the January weather, is that it would be a close to average month, but I think particularly throughout the second half there is a most likely scenario, or most likely chance throughout the second half of the period, where we could see a higher chance of lower than average temperatures, and yes, potentially some heavy snow just around from the mid to latter part of January. Why is that? Okay, so let's go through the first week of January. So with the forecasts throughout the last full week of December, that the general weather outlook will stay relatively changeable. Some models have predicted that it may turn slightly colder around the Christmas period, but other forecasts have said that temperature outlook for the Christmas outlook up to New Year will probably stay also near average to slightly above average temperatures. So for the first week of January, some models have kind of predicted that, especially just after New Year, temperatures could actually take a brief but kind of sharp tumble, but it's not likely to be prolonged, and any snow isn't likely to be hugely likely, if that makes any sense. So beginning of January, there are like some predictions that, particularly on certain websites and the forecast modules, that straight after New Year we may see a brief cold snap. We will see some sunshine, and temperatures we know will be at least 3 to 5 degrees, maybe more than that, below the seasonal average. There will be some snow showers at times, but any like significant amounts of snow, particularly around central southern England, would be very unlikely at this stage. So, and then as we approach into the first weekend of January, the milder Atlantic weather will be returning. So the weather will probably probably will be changeable. The snow will definitely be out of the area by then. Temperatures will be close to the seasonal average again, like I said, maybe slightly above. So that will be what I think for the first weekend of January. And then quite a few computer models have predicted, particularly for the second week of January, which is still linked to the first half, is that the weather will be relatively mild and quite wet. And I think there's even a chance we could see 1 or 2 storm fronts throughout our region from the second week of January. So we're definitely not going to, there's definitely a chance that we may not see any snow throughout the second week. Temperatures will be above average as well, so it could turn quite mild. Probably temperatures range around 8 to 12 Celsius most days throughout the second week of January. And not a huge amount of dry interludes as well, so it could actually turn quite wet, but pretty mild. Also, like I said, it could be quite windy at times. And then, as we know, throughout the second weekend of January onwards, temperatures could actually take quite a sharp tumble. We could see like a more organised cold snap throughout the winter. So basically, we may be getting like a so-called beast from the east, or we may see winds coming in from like the northeast or the easterly direction. And when those conditions happen, when we get those kind of like, where the high pressure coming in from the east or from the northeast, and particularly if it's a huge block of it, that will take the weather fronts, it would be a huge struggle trying to make progress into our area, and that normally can last for about several days, if not weeks, on this. And like I said, quite a few models have predicted that it could turn well, a more prolonged cold snap likely from, let's say, the second weekend onwards. There will be a few brief milder interludes, but general temperatures could be below average, particularly throughout the second weekend onwards. Temperatures may struggle to rise to near normal values. Now, will it snow all the time? Definitely won't be every day, and particularly when we get the easterly direction, and sometimes we will see spells of sunshine, but normally that triggers off with snow showers whenever we get easterly. If it's a bit more of a southeasterly, it brings in normally clearer air, so the type of weather is a little bit uncertain, but they're more generally focused on the temperature of what, in terms of the average values, is going to be. So going to be above average, near average, or below average. So as we head into the third week of January, well, chances are, I think there will be like a few brief milder interludes, but I think generally the weather will stay on the cold side. Like I said, the wind direction is very uncertain, but normally when we get like a prolonged cold snap, it's normally from the east, not from the northwest. But I think it might occasionally open the window to some slightly milder weather, but the weather will be pretty showery from the third week, so it's not likely to bring in a really organised band of snow. So probably showery third week of January mostly. There will be sunshine about. Temperatures will struggle on most days, if not nearly every day throughout the third week, to near average value. So it could be quite cold, could be quite blustery, may feel quite raw, with a scattering of wintry showers likely, and some spells of sunshine. But the thinking is, particularly by the time we can get to the last 10 days of January, so the fourth week, there is definitely quite a few predictions, is that we could, well, depending on the actual area of where the heaviest snow will be, the fourth week, we may start to see like low pressure coming in from the Atlantic, but with the computer models predicting with the with the high pressure across the eastern parts of the world, like the North Sea, the eastern parts of the UK, definitely prone to that cold snap from the beasts of the east. And if that has enough power to keep it in, and with the Atlantic fronts may start to try to bring in milder, wetter weather, there's a classic theme that it can be bringing in some pretty heavy, persistent snow. There are other modules which say that we may see, like, fronts coming in from the east, but already with temperatures potentially below freezing. That can also travel towards our region, and towards particularly parts of England, possibly parts of Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales, mostly prone to the England region. So what thinking is that we start to lose the grip on the high pressure. There's a lot of uncertainty on which direction the fronts are going to come in, but we may potentially see like some more organised spans of snow. We could see snow several days, but it's not likely to snow every single day, and there will be like some dry, brighter, colder spells. Temperatures could be just only above freezing, but possibly around 2 to 3 days. Temperatures very close to freezing. Well, I already just said that, but probably could be at freezing values. So some snow days are likely, particularly throughout the second half or even the last third of January. So that's what some computer models, or even most computer models, would predict. We could see some snow around that time. So you get the gist of it. The very beginning of January, a brief cold snap, and then like the second week of January, it will turn milder with some stormy weather, and then by the second weekend of January onwards, it will be likely to be turning much colder, with plenty of showers throughout the third week, and mainly quite wintry ones with snow and even hail. And then particularly the fourth week onwards, or the last third of January, we could see potentially like a bit of a winter wonderland in some areas. That's what some computer models predict. I'm not at all very certain, but we're going to play by ear, and like I said, if you agree with it, like this video. If you don't agree with my predictions and you think it's completely different and what you may think, you can give it a dislike. Just don't put any harsh comments. But that's what the outlook will potentially be like for January. Obviously, the computer models have predicted the second half of December could be a winter wonderland. That's not likely to happen now, but as we know, even the computer models are never really that accurate. So time will tell, but that's what it is. Alright, that's it for this video. Give it a like, comment, subscribe if you agree with my opinions, and I'll keep you updated. And I will do the February outlook from next month in mid-January. Date will be yet to be confirmed. And other than that, guys, give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And the storm is now out.